When the world feels uncertain, we think that we need something brand new to hold on to. But the truth is, our ancestors left us wisdom about hope, wisdom that we have forgotten and that we desperately need to remember. When I think about hope through generation, I can't help but think about my own family. On my father's side, my grandparents came from the island of Dominica. Now, just to be clear, Dominica and Dominican Republic are two different islands. They may sound the same, but they are a little different. So here are some of the differences between them. On the island of Dominica, it's called the Commonwealth of Dominica. It's located in the Eastern Caribbean between Guadeloupe and Martinique. The language is English with Creole widely spoken. The population is 73,000. And it's known for lush rainforest, boiling lake, ecotourism, volcanic landscape. When it comes to Dominican Republic, it shares the island of Hispaniola with Haiti in the greater Antilles. The main language in Dominican Republic is Spanish. The population is 11 million, much larger. It's a much larger country, and it's known for its resorts like Punta Cana, merengue and bachata music, beaches, and baseball. Okay, so those are the differences between the two islands. On my father's side, my grandfather had a lot of endurance and strength. Every morning he would wake up and he would go into the mountains to tend to his cow. It didn't matter what the weather looked like. This is what he did. He didn't have schooling, but he had endurance. He had strength. He had a routine and this steady way of surviving. My grandmother, on the other hand, she stayed at home, took care of the children, my father and his siblings, and she did the house chores, the housework, cooking, cleaning, making sure all the children were taken care of and had what they needed. They didn't have much, but they did enough to keep moving forward. On my mother's side, the story is a little bit different. My mother's mother passed away when she was about 8 years old. I was named after her. Her father moved to England for better opportunities, and she was raised by her aunt, I believe, her great aunt is who raised her. So she had family members in Dominica when they lived there. She had somebody that raised her while her father was in England, and he would send money back to help take care of her and her siblings. The absence of my grandmother shaped my mother in who she became. She grew up without the guidance and the tenderness that she would have had my grandmother been there. But yet she did the best that she could with the people and the family who raised her. And so then came my parents. They had the same lessons of endurance, of scarcity, and what it takes to survive. Eventually, my parents moved us to this country, to America. We moved from the island to America in search of better opportunities, of a better life. Even though they didn't have all the resources and the know-how things were going to happen, the goal was to come here in search of better opportunities. They had the same hope that my grandparents had. They believed that somehow there would be more waiting on the other side. So when I think about scarcity, migration, and hardship, I often think about hope. Hope was like a seed planted in our family that was passed from one generation to the next. We may not have much, but we always had hope. Hope was like an inheritance, or is like an inheritance in our family. When we talk about hope, we often treat it like a feeling we either have or don't have. But past generation knew something different. They knew that hope is a practice. It's something you live even when life is hard, especially when life is hard. And that's not just in history books, but it's true right now. You know, when I think about hope, I can't just think about the past. I also think about what's happening in our world today. Take Gaza, for example. It's a place that's been going through unimaginable hardship. Families have been torn apart. Life has been turned upside down. And yet, if you look closely, you see You still see people choosing life. You see parents doing everything they can to keep their children learning. You see neighbors sharing food even when there isn't much. You see art, music, prayer circles, people still gathering together. And what that tells me is this: hope is not about things being perfect. Hope is not about waiting until life is easy. Hope is the choice to create light in the middle of the darkness. It's survival, yes, but it's also legacy. That's what we've forgotten sometimes. We think hope should feel comfortable. But past generation knew, and people living through hardship today know, that hope is often uncomfortable. It's costly. And still, it's the only thing that allows us to keep moving forward. So let me ask you, where in your life do you need to practice hope, not just feel it? Where do you need to make the choice to create light even when it feels dark? When we talk about hope, it's easy to think about survival in the moment. But past generations remind us that hope isn't only about getting through today. It's about what you leave behind. Hope is a legacy. It's the seed you plant that someone else will harvest. It's the choice you make today that will shape tomorrow for people you may never even meet. When I think about what hope means for us today, I can't help but think about what we've just gone through and what so many are still going through. The pandemic changed everything. Overnight, the world shut down. Schools closed, jobs disappeared, families were separated. And in many ways, even though life looks normal again, people are still carrying the weight of that season. The fear, the loss, the uncertainty, it didn't just vanish when the world opened back up. And now on top of that, we're watching people lose jobs in massive layoffs. We're seeing prices rise. We're hearing stories every day of people who don't know how they're going to make ends meet. The ground feels shaky, not just globally, but in very personal, practical ways. This is where hope matters most, because hope isn't pretending the pain isn't real. Hope is looking at the reality, the bills, the layoff, the uncertainty, and choosing to believe. Even now, there's a way forward. Even now, I can take the next step. Even now, something good can still be planted. That's what this means for us today. Hope is not a luxury, it's a necessity. It's the discipline that allows us to keep moving, to keep building, even when we don't know what's around the corner. So let's bring this all together. First, we talked about what we've forgotten about hope. That hope isn't just a feeling, it's a practice. It's something you live, especially when life is hard. Then we talked about hope as legacy. That hope is bigger than our moments. It's about the seeds we plant, the voices we lift, and the choices we make that others will inherit. And finally, we talked about what it means for us today. That in the wake of the pandemic, in the middle of layoffs and uncertainty, hope is not a luxury, it's a necessity. It's what allows us to keep moving forward one step at a time. And so here's what I want you to remember. Hope is not lost. It's not gone. It's our memory. It's our legacy. And it's in our daily choices right now. Thank you for watching. And if this message resonated with you, please like, share, and subscribe. Also hit the notification bell so you can be notified when I post a new video. Sur ce, on se dit à la prochaine. On that note, we'll see you soon.